Whatever you do, avoid these mistakes at all costs. Welcome back to RC Trails, and today we're going to be going over my 5 mistakes to avoid. If it's your first build, you're going to want to avoid these, and even if you're an expert, if it's your 20th build, I would say try and avoid these mistakes. Mistake number 5, rushing your build. Do not rush your build, my friends. That's gonna push you back even longer. Some builds are more simpler than others, some are more confusing than others, so take your time, read the instructions, because some screws have millimeters of a difference. The last thing you want to do is use the wrong screw in step number 2 and come to realize it in step 20 when you're almost done with your build. At that point, you're gonna have to go backwards, retrace your steps, deconstruct the build, and see where you made the mistake. Mistake number 4, it's gonna be buying cheap parts. Listen, I'm all up for saving money, getting the best bang for your buck, but you cannot buy cheap parts because you're not gonna get the performance out of it. They're gonna break easier, and you're gonna spend more money trying to replace that same cheap part that you would have if you purchased a quality part. Mistake number 3 is gonna be using the wrong tools. I know we get our builds, we get the body, and we want to start building right away. We want to see the finished product as soon as possible. But I say choose the right tools, because that's going to avoid a lot of mistakes and a lot of headaches. The right tools are going to help the job and help the build go so much smoother than using the wrong tools. Trust me, I know. Mistake to avoid number 2, choosing the right body for your chassis. Some kits, you won't have a problem with this because they come with the body for the chassis. When you're choosing a body for your frame or for your chassis, you need to measure the width, the length, the wheelbase. If you have an idea of what electronics you're going to use, go ahead and see where would you put that on the chassis, because that's going to affect your performance. So go ahead, do your research, spend a little bit of extra time on figuring out what is the right body for the chassis, for the builder's kit that you have. Mistake to avoid number 1, which is something that I personally went through and it struck me down, but I'm working on rebuilding it, is use the right paint. The one that you want to use if you have a Lexan body is going to be Tamiya PS paint. If you have a hard body plastic, then you could use TS paint. Do not use TS paint on a Lexan body. That's the mistake I made. That's why I'm sharing this video, because I want you guys to not make the same mistake I made. I'm working on rebuilding or repainting the Bronco Everglades so I could get that on the trail. I loved the color. When I finished it, it looked amazing, but then over time, the paint started to chip. Another type of paint Tamiya has is Tamiya AS, which is for aircraft style build. Through my experience, that paint worked fine on my Lexan body for the Buffalo. It's still on my Buffalo. The Buffalo hasn't chipped. I don't see any signs of chipping. So if I see a color with AS, I'm gonna use it again. Since I love helping you guys so much, I'm gonna give you an extra mistake to avoid. When you're choosing your body, go ahead and make sure that you're choosing a body that has aftermarket support. Now, if you're just looking for a body that you're gonna crawl with, and you know, you're not gonna mind it tumbling down, getting scratched, you don't wanna put a lot of detail, a lot of work into it, then by all means just buy a body that does not have aftermarket support. But if you want to create a build and make it your own, put some detail on it, make it more realistic, more scale, then I recommend that you do your research and see if that body you're looking at has aftermarket support. What you don't want to do is, and I've also went through it, I was building and I messed up a part. In order to get that part again, I had to order a whole new body. There was no accessory bag that they could send me. I had to purchase a whole new body. If you found these tips helpful, go ahead, like and subscribe, join the community, join the family. If you have a Night Runner and you want to improve its performance, go ahead and check out this video there. It's going to change it from a shovel to an actual truck you could drive on the trails.